Welcome to some professional StarCraft 2 breakdown, the biggest tournament of the year, IEM Katowice. 2021 is upon us, and your favorite player is going to lose horribly. Or are they? We're going to make some predictions. The best players in the world represented. They fought for those Pro Tour points over all the major and big game weeklies, all the major tournaments like DreamHack Masters, GSL, Super Tournament, and coming in. And I'll be making predictions. Let me explain the format so people tuning in know what to look for, and I'll be casting the replays after. But don't let me stop you. There's 20 players who are seeded into it, the main event. But there's also a round of 36 event that's kind of a more open bracket style, where everyone else gets a chance to jump in. So first, let's start out with the round of 36. That's going to be starting. Well, if you're watching this video, like and subscribe. You got to start that right off the bat. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure to dispute my picks. But the next, 16 qualifying players have a chance at 4 slots. There's going to be 24 in the main event. So in the round of 36, you got players like Hurricane, SOS, Bunny, Byun, Dream, Armani, DRG, Ragnarok, and also the non-Koreans, including players like Euthermal, Laser Scarlet, Kelazor, Cyan, Cayenne, however you say that, has nice. Ooh, Probe as well, qualifying from the other regions. And these players all under the top 20 in Pro Tour points, but each region has a certain amount of slots. There are a few standouts there. We'll go over that. But then, next weekend, or through the week rather, for the most part, we'll have the main event, which is the group stage. The groups have already been set, minus one round of 36 player, who will be slid in to one of these ridiculous groups. And it's going to be hard to make exact predictions because it's unclear who of the round of 36 is going to be in which group. And for example, adding Byun into Group A. And yes, I'm spoiling my first prediction. I'm predicting Byun. If Byun is in Group A, he's going to have a much harder time, I think, than say if he's in, you know what? There's no easy group. They're all hard groups. But maybe Group C is a little easier depending on your team. You know, this is all very difficult, of course. But, so there will be a group stage. 3 players from each group qualify into the round of 12. And then from there, we play through the bracket. There's money up for grabs. Everyone gets something. Though 33, the first players to go out only get the $500. It will be played online for obvious reasons. Unfortunately, still forced to play that. So the prize pool is slightly reduced in favor of having more tournaments with higher prize pool throughout the year, instead of relying everything on one big offline event, just in case you're wondering why it's less than last year. But it is still the biggest event of the year. So, before we get into the groups, which I'm just going to predict from here, I'm going to start with the round of 36. I'm going to make my predictions. That way you can be like, Winter, you're a genius. When everybody inevitably gets through that I predicted and ends up at the finals in the round of 4, and I'm trying to hedge my bets here because we don't know exactly who's going to be in which group or where they're going to be placed in the final bracket, but that much is obvious enough. But here's the bracket for the round of 36. And that is the 16 players fighting for 4 spots. I'm looking at, there is double elimination, so you're not knocked out right off the bat. First, the obvious pick is going to be Byun. Byun doesn't have the easiest road. Is on the other side, though I think DRG is going to be able to handle him. And then he has Hurricane and SOS to contend with, which are strong Protoss. Though SOS and Hurricane, as well as Probe and Knight, there's just Protoss no matter what. Like, a Protoss is going to make it that far. It's already filled in. I don't think that is the strongest. Dream has been a nightmare for a lot of players lately. If he can get past Dream, which is not a guarantee, he's kind of a bit of a sniper. You know what? I'm just locking it in. All right, we're going to start with my very technical setup. My first pick from the round of 36, a classic Byun. I mean, come on. Maybe we should just have one big thing for it. Not a particularly hard pick or controversial one. But and another look is at Scarlet. Scarlet been a little quiet lately. Which Scarlet are we gonna get? Everybody wants Scarlet to do well, and when she's doing well, it looks great. It isn't, honestly, this side of the bracket is much easier. You gotta, it depends on how you thermal's feeling. Going through the losers bracket is always harder, especially if you get knocked down early. I'm not sure how that affects the rest of it, but it's hard because all these players are here for a reason. They're not the best of the best right now. Part of the reason Byun is in the round of 36 as opposed to higher up, because Byun only came back to SC2 midway through the year. This is going through the whole year since last IEM Katowice, so we didn't have the chance to rack up enough points to make it into the main event immediately. But he is kind of the odd man out in that if you gave him a few more months, he probably would have. So, according to standings, DRG, Armani, SOS, Scarlet. It's a hard call. Like, I kind of want to give it to... If Dream was up against anyone but Byun, I think he'd be a pick. This is the awkward part. Like, if Dream was up against anyone but Byun to start, I would probably pick Dream. But first round is rough. I think DRG has been looking great. Byun is an obvious threat, but I think he makes it through the losers bracket. And also, he's DRG locked in for the second. These are, like, what year is it? DRG and Byun. But we're back. SOS, I have no idea with SOS. I don't think I can pick SOS. But this is the biggest tournament of the year, and that's when SOS is actually quite good. He hasn't really done anything lately. We can actually hop on over to Aligulac real quick. No, don't predict. I don't want to predict. I'm doing the predictions. I just want to see what he has been doing lately. This isn't what I was looking for, but wow. Recently, it looks like it doesn't actually say what tournament this was. We got some Cheesadelphia, GSL Super Tournament. Oh yeah, he lost to Dream. He beat Byun and then lost to Dream, making this even more dramatic in Super Tournament. SOS 3-1 TY, but 0-3 Trap. 2-1 Dream, 0-2 Trap. 0-2 Byun, like... I have no idea what this tournament is, but why didn't I know about it? Look at this lineup. Anyways. In the interest of having this be under 30 minutes, we gotta move on. It's so hard. I gotta make a pick. And another one that let's eliminate players. You know what? That'll be easier for me. Let's eliminate. I don't think Nice or Hurricane are gonna make it. I'm sorry, Probe. That's a no from me. Armani, maybe. Kelizer, I don't think so. Bunny, a laser's a bit of a wild card on this, I think. As is Euthermal and Ragnarok. And Cayenne's not a pushover. It really depends on which Scarlet shows up. Like, Scarlet could beat this entire side of the bracket, but not every day. So that narrows it down somewhat. I just want to see what Scarlet's been up to lately. And this isn't necessarily like... Some players will kind of slack off in the tournaments before something like IEM, just partially because they don't want to play their opponents. in things that aren't of... All of this is from 2020. Ooh. Which includes losing to Calizar and Uthermal, who are both on the same side of the bracket. Which does not bode well. Having a good run in DreamHack Masters in October. I can't. I gotta not. I don't think she makes it through. It hurts me to say that, but I don't think so. I'm gonna pick SOS. For some reason, that puts SOS on the board for me. And now the question is, will any non-Koreans get through? Like, I think SOS in one of the largest tournament. He's done it before. I think he steps up to the plate. And Bunny has looked really good. Laser's solid. That's a hard pick. I think it's going to come down to Bunny or a Laser. Whoever wins that match is going to have a good shot. Or Dream. Oh my god, you got to make a pick though. That's what we're here for. Dream, like, honestly, I can't really he's just played solid. He just kind of decided to be a solid player now. Bunny, 0-3 Byun, 1-2 against SOS. Yeah, not super impressive over the last few weeks. 3-1 stats, but then 0-3, because Zest sometimes just shows up. Zest is a whole nother thing. We're going to talk about that, of course. (2-1 Inno, 2-1 Reynor, 1-3 Clem. Like, 1-2 against Dream. Can't choose 4 from one side. You can. But you're assuming they'll come through the loser's bracket. I'm not sure if that's actually possible. They could all 4 come from the same side. I might not understand brackets correctly. But I'm pretty sure, depending on how it shakes out, that could happen. And then Dream. Dream on a meteoric rise. Dream 2-3. 0-3 against Zest. Yeah, like, this isn't a super... Look how much he played. He's a grinder. Alright. 16th, 15th, 14th, 8th, 8th, 6th, 4th. Like, he's out there. 3-2 SOS, 3-0 DRG. Loses to Trap. No shame in that one. Like, I think I gotta take Dream over Money. And that is gonna lock in the all 4 Koreans. But if the bracket... No, that is... They're all on the same side of the bracket. So I'm just gonna hedge my bets with the other side. And have, yes, that's what we're doing. If the bracket can't be played out like that, and I don't understand it correctly, a Laser and Bunny are my other side of the bracket picks. But it's tough. So another part that's going to add a lot of drama and confusion is once that's all said and done, and we'll know very soon, in a couple days, how that ends up. Where they end up in the groups. And now this, I think, is a little easier because most of these players, everyone knows how they play and how good they are and have a better gauge of it. But at the same time, they're all so amazing that you got to pick 3, and someone from the open bracket or from the round of 36 is going to end up there. So I'm just going to pick 3 out of these groups, well understanding that some of them might not make it. And that's 3 out of 5, which is solid. Okay, TY, Maru, and Clem. Unfortunately, and this is kind of this is actually true. Maru's has a wrist condition now. His wrists are actually in such pain. I don't know the name of the condition. Korean Terrans have not had luck with this in the past. But he was diagnosed with something that essentially means he's at risk of his wrists exploding. Not 100% accurate, but close enough that it's kind of scary. Which makes me, one, a little concerned that, I mean, he's got to play. But TY has actually, like, TY is obviously a great player. But honestly, even though he's coming in first here, I don't think TY is a favorite in the group. I think he probably makes it through top 3. But TY has not really been making any splashes this year. It's not Carpal Tunnel. I want to... Okay, let's not bullshit this. It is... Team Envy actually released a statement on it. Which is why Maru has not been... Let me see if I can find it. I'm getting closer. I think it was in Korean is why. We'll see if we get that. But apparently he's good enough to play. Which means you can't count him out. So, I think Clem makes it through. I've been very... Showtime's been impressive lately. I think that's going to be the bold pick. Clem, Showtime, and Maru are my picks. Though, depending on if Byun gets dropped into this group, or DRG gets dropped, like, in that order, by the way. That's in that order. Solar is S tier, but I'm not feeling it. I don't know why. But, also Zergs are struggling lately. Is a little bit of it. Like, the meta at the moment, as much as people like to joke, Zergs are struggling. Like, Protoss have come around, Terrans have a handle on it, and a lot of Zerg players, there's a very thin margin in both Zerg versus Terran and Zerg versus Protoss that you need to kind of be on top of. And a lot of players are struggling with it. Clem over TY, yeah. I think Clem is a safer pick than TY right now. I think Clem's going to come out... I'm already locking this in, by the way. Final 4. Clem. Now, the second group. TY is a beast, but this is what I'm basing it off of. Let's, Okay, don't just search the letters TY. Okay, there we go. No, I don't think TY is nearly as much of a, like, daily player. You might be like, Winter, TY just 3-2'd Clem. I bet Clem learned from that. 2-0 Ragnarok 2. This is really countering my point. God. How have I not seen... You know, I'm going to have to revise my picks. Holy shit. And then, of course, Zest showed up for this one. Like, out of nowhere, Zest just comes in and slams him. TY's on, like, the hottest streak of his career. He lost to Dream and Zound, but... like, and then Zest is like, like, hold on. Not today. Today, Zest is winning. Shit. I'm gonna... I was ready to, like, make a big, bold call. And be like, no TY this time. Another thing about Maru. Wrist issues notwithstanding. Maru has always underperformed in, like, weekend events, effectively. He's always been a, like, I'm prepared to eliminate this player. And that's why we didn't get the Maru versus Serral dream match we were waiting for years. Is because Maru would just go out in, like, the round of 8. And then Serral just goes in and wins the tournament. Like, so... I have to revise. I had not seen TY's recent match. I just saw him not in GSL because he got knocked out. So, but all right, I'm back. I'm back on the Chessmaster train. Can we pick the right color, please, Jimmy? All right, thank you. Give me my phthalo blue. Clem 2. I'm still calling Clement first. But third in the group, I think, is either going to be Showtime or round of 36 player. Like, I think that's the weakest third place call. But it depends on the round of 32 player, or 36. Oh my god, so many numbers. It really does. So, like, if Byun gets in there, all bets are off. If it's like Dream or something, it's a little less favored. Like, and there's no way to know whether Zest is playing with his jacket on or his jacket off, but we're not there yet. And we all know where his power comes from. And now, for the Serral Slaughter division, we got Serral, Inno Special, Dark, and Time. I don't think it's a bold call to put Serral in first. Like, it's Serral. This is Serral's group. Even if Byun or even if anyone from the round of 36 shows up. Yeah, there's not a single Protoss. I mean, like, there was a time where Serral versus Protoss was almost just unfair, where he won like 28 in a row. I think Dark, because Serral does struggle more in ZVZ, could give him some trouble. And actually, I think Dark is one of the only players who can beat all the... I think Dark will do better against the Terrans, potentially, than Serral. Because Dark has this annoying lurker style that TY eventually picked apart. But he just plays, like, lower economy than the Terrans and lets them get themselves killed. Because so many Terrans will try to out-micro and, like, out-multitask as opposed to just transition into, like, Liberators or Ghosts. Innovation could fall on either side of that. Special will usually struggle, but like if TY gives him enough hot tips, then maybe. I'm putting Dark as the follow-up, and then I want to put Special, but I'm sorry, Juanito. This is also another round of 36. Could easily get third or second, I think, in this group. As the non-Korean players, Special and Time. Both solid Terrans. But there's a lot of... They are the weaker players in the group. So, like, here's the thing. You might be like, well, you could just put round of 36 as third on all. No, for the next two groups, round of 36 player, not happening. Like, maybe. Well, we'll see. Yeah, you know. In the next group, the round of 36 player is screwed. It's over. Wait, no. Am I putting Zest in first? I wanted to. Well, I was going to say Zest with the jacket off is very important. But Zest is not... I think Reynor, Trap, and Zest. The question is which order. Does Reynor have ZVP locked down? Honestly, right now, I'm going to put Trap, Reynor, and then Zest with no jacket. That's an important point. What I think will happen was he'll lose a couple matches. You think it's a joke, but if you go watch some of the GSL matches where he goes down a couple, and he's just sipping on... Zest is just... He does what he wants. Other players get all emotional. Zest just sipping on like his bubble tea. And occasionally he decides to win matches. Like, I want to bring this up again. I probably should just put Zest in first, because he's either going to be first or last. There's no way he's going to be third, right? Like, depends on if the matches are played over 1 or 2 different days. It looks like it's all one day, so... In that case, it's either first or last for Zest. But first, let's show you why. His best matchup is actually versus Protoss as well. Zest, 3-0 Percival, whoever that is, 2-1 Parting, 2-0 Nightmare, 2-0 Lunar Sea. I don't know who these people are, but I do know Stats, who won 3-2. 3-2 Patience, 2-0 Creator, 2-0 Farm. Who are these people? 4-3 Ragnarok, 3-0 Rogue, 3-0 Dream, 1-4 Patience, 3-2 Rogue. Where is the Wardy TV? 4-1 TY, 3-0 Cure here. 3-0 Nina. Like, he's all over the place. Loses to Nightmare. Loses to Stats. 2-0 Byun. Like, loses to Dream and then beats Dream the same day. Loses to Sound, but it's all over the place. Somehow his best matchup but PvP, but all of his losses are also PvP, which doesn't make any sense, but whatever. I'm leaving it at third, and I know it should be first or last, but leaving it at third. That's where that's going. We're just gonna leave it there. Zest is the best Protoss in SC2, close behind Reyn, who retired from SC2 and went back to Brood War 4 years ago, but still maintaining a place in our hearts. And then Group D. Oh, Cure. How are you today? The thing is, sometimes Cure just... he shows up. His Whittle Mines drop out. And good things happen for him. Rogue is another player who, like, he's so successful, you kind of forget about it. Maybe it's just me, but I keep forgetting that Rogue is incredible. Like, it's just like, oh yeah, Rogue. Okay. He's good. Like, what has Neeb been doing, by the way? I don't know. What has the Thunder Shaft been up to? Two, 3 Reynor, 3-1 Hero Marine, 2-1 D. This is just ESL Open. 2-3 Solar, 2-1 Soul, 0-2 Ragnarok, 2-0 M Canning. 1-3 Hero Marine, but he made up for, like, he hasn't been playing in too much outside of the Opens. Neeb is a hard pick. As an American... Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about Astray or Hero Marine. Like, they're both will probably win some very dramatic games, but I don't see them winning enough, no matter who comes through the round of 36. To get up there. I just glossed over it because I was so confident that the top 3 would be the top 3. Like, the slash round of 36 means, depending on the round of 36, I could see them being third or even higher in the group. But since we don't know exactly who, that I'm saying it's kind of shaky in third with that. I don't think it's shaky. It's so not shaky for me in Group C. I didn't even talk about Big Gabe. Because his presence is enormous, but his competition is incredibly fierce. And Estrella has gone from mid-GM NA to Code S, but it's still not quite there. Gabe said on stream that he wasn't trying his best against Neeb recently because he didn't want to show too much. Classic. Like, it sounds like bullshit, but it's probably true. Like, would Big Gabe lie? So, yeah, stats, Cure, Rogue. Where is Cure on the standing? Stats is also another player like Rogue recently. Where it's like, oh yeah, Stats is good. Stats is still good. Rogue's still good. Okay. Like, but I can't think of any really standout matches for either of them. Like, you're like, yeah, well, Stats. But like, and also, parting, it doesn't, what is this? Okay. Stats, 2-4 against Creator, 3-2 Innovation, 3-2 Zest, 3-2 Dream, 4-2 Byun. Stats is good. Like, the man's good. He's a good player. Good at the game. I don't... there are a couple other Protoss, but I don't think they're very similar to Create Parting. 1-2 Zest, but 2-0 Creator. Like, Parting also very good. Okay. And then Rogue. This is kind of hard. Like, I think, yeah, Rogue 0-3 Zest, 3-1 Patience, 2-3. He's struggling against Protoss. This is what we're seeing. He managed to take a win over Gemini. But otherwise, and 3-1 over Patience. But yeah, he's definitely, it's an obvious trend of struggling against Protoss. Gemini. He's also won $870,000. It's pretty good. 0-2 Trap, 0-2 Zound, 0-2 Zest. 4-7 TY. Wait, what? There was a best of 15? Or 13? 0-2 against SOS, 1-2 against Trap, 2-1 against Parting. So Parting is the only person, especially in this group. He also lost to Cure. Rogue, based on everything in the last few months, against the people specifically in his group, has been struggling. Like, against Parting, against Cure. Yeah, Cure has beaten him at least once. Huh. I mean, it's not a huge... those aren't huge matches with a lot of games. It's going to be hard to... But there's at least 3 Protoss in his group. So... what I think this does is bumps Cure up for me. Like, I wasn't sure... I think I'm gonna have to stick with the top 3 on this one. The only thing might be Parting over Stats, but I don't think that's super representative. We're gonna just... we did not format well. Like, oh, putting Cure over Parting. I want the big boy to prove me wrong. That. No, wait, no. Is Stats in first? Yeah, Stats. I think there's a round of 36 shot. Like, you throw Byun in there, oh, it's all off the... like, Byun might come out first. I don't... like... But if it's, like, Dream, who knows? Like, round of 36 could throw everything off in this group. I think more than any other group. No matter, like, almost anyone coming out of the round of 36 throws off the balance. But with what we got, so we got Byun, DRG, SOS, and Dream with a side order of a Laser Bunny for round of 36. We got Clem, TY, Showtime, or open bracket. We got Serral, Dark Innovation. Now, I mean, I do. I'm sorry, not we. I'm sure everyone, the entire point is you have your own opinion. And we're going to see who's right. Trap, Reynor, and Zest. Very important, Zest does not have his jacket on. That is a stipulation. And then Rogue, or Stats, Rogue, and Cure. That is a group I'd love to be wrong about. Group D, though. That's the one I'd most like to be wrong about. I'd like Neeb and Parting to come through in first. And then, on the other, and then Scarlet comes through and sneaks in with third, knocking Rogue, Stats, and Cure out. That's the perfect group there, but I doubt it. So, since it's very hard to determine the round of 12, I just said Final Four, assuming eventually the Final Four could be decided. It's impossible not to put, you know who. You know who it's gonna be. Twitch chat, do you know who it's gonna be? For another Final Four participant. Sarah. You know what? I'm locking it in. I think he wants it. Zest. Zest just, I think he'll decide to win. Now it's a lot of the rest is going to come down to the bracket. Like, I think especially Serral, but Clem is a little bit of a risky bet. Zest is also a risky bet. Serral is pretty safe. Reynor would also be kind of safe just for narrative's sake. Like, I've got about 50% confidence in Clem and Zest, and about 84% confidence in Serral. The other big picks are Trap, TY, Rogue, Dark, Byun, Reynor. Those are all players who you would not be surprised to see. Yeah, Trap has won 3 super tournament. Well, he's won 3 major tournaments in a row. Trap is better than right now in terms of tournament wins and consistency. Trap is the #1 player. Like, it wasn't until the last few months, but since he started off on his tear, he's still on that hot streak. It is online. But, what was it? Asus? Or TSL? TSL was online. He won that. Right? Or was it... was it... there was another tournament that wasn't GSL. And then my hedging picks, they're not at the same level as Trap. That's inaccurate. Oh, well, not again. Not again. The new Serral versus Reynor is Serral versus Trap. I look at him like, yeah, okay. I'm not even, like, this might not be how the brackets play out, but you have a lot of faith in Serral. Serral has earned a lot of faith, even despite some, like, shakiness. Like, Serral, more than almost anyone ever, has earned that faith. but I'm gonna put like just like with an asterisk on like how the brackets play out. Those are like, it could be like maybe, but my top 4 would be this. And this, those are like if the bracket makes it so literally you can't have all those 4. I put these guys in there. Okay, they probably are the ones that ruin the bracket. So the problem is I think at some point Zest he doesn't drop out, but like at some point Zest will look like he's done with the tournament. I think it'll be the semifinals, but we'll see. And that is what happened. Like if you remember Super Tournament, he beat like Parting, he beat Bunny, he beat someone else, and then he just got walked over by Zhaun or however you pronounce it. Like I don't. He just decided he was done. So, I gotta say, the reason this took so long and it's so hard is it's no longer, there's been a while in StarCraft 2 where it seems like, well, Serral's dominated, Zergs in general have dominated, when Maru seems like he's at 100%, there's like a dozen players you could put on the list. Most of the players on this list, and some that aren't, you wouldn't be that surprised that they won. Like if Innovation won, or Stats, or even Parting, or Zest, like Maru, Clem, TY, like it, Dark, Byun, none of these would be like, oh my god, where the fuck did that come from? No. They would be, maybe they'd be an upset, but you wouldn't be, like, think you're in an alternate reality. Or Neeb? Scarlet? Special. I don't know. Well, there you go. That's the picks. As best we can make them. I hope you have controversial opinions, and I hope your favorite player loses, so my favorite players can win. Because apparently they're different or something. I don't know. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Make sure to leave a comment and tell me how wrong I was. And tune in to IEM Katowice 2021. I'll probably be breaking down some of the best games afterwards if you happen to miss it. There's going to be a lot of StarCraft. So, good luck. Have fun, and enjoy watching. See you next time.